Om Sai Ram. Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham, Chapter 28. The story of Sri Vasavi and Sri Nagareshwara. Descriptions of the form of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, Saraswati, Mahasaraswati, Kali, Mahakali. It was a Friday. It was the auspicious time of the birthday celebration of Sri Vasavi Kannika Parameshwari. Sripada walked on the waters of the river Krishna and reached to the other shore. We reached the shore on a boat. It was 7 ghadiyas in the morning. It was the auspicious time at which Sri Venkateshwara Swami, along with his consort Sri Alamelu Manga, receives worship and other services. Sripada entered into the cowshed that was constructed the day before and went into deep meditation. We also entered the cowshed at the same time. That was a unique occasion when the court of Sripada commenced. Wonder of wonders, the body of Sri Charan suddenly became very brilliant. The great efficacy spread all the 4 directions. His body did not appear as a physical body, but as an image of efficacy. He came out of the cowshed. Normally, his shadow used to appear on the ground, but on that day, his shadow did not fall on the ground. Generally, there used to be footprints on the ground when he walked, but on that day, there were no footprints on the ground. He stared very sharply towards the sun god. His body was filled with divine brilliance, and the form of great lustre became bigger and bigger. After some time, his effulgent form merged with the sun. We saw with our eyes the disappearance of Sripada. We saw a child of divine lustre in the efficacy of the sun. The child came out of the sun and came briskly towards the earth. When the child stepped on the earth vanished from our vision. Again he had a wonderful smile. Again he intensively looked towards the sun, and we were able to see the earth again. He asked both of us to look towards the sun again. We saw the sun, a divine child form with perfect beauty and charm. That divine child was a feminine form. She came towards the earth with charming smiles. When the feet of the divine child touched the earth vanished from our sight. We looked at this with awe and wonder. The divine child smiled on seeing us. The earth became visible to us again. Sripada held that female form fondly in his arms. Sripada was aged 16 years and the divine child was aged 3 years. She resembled Sripada very much. She wore silken clothes and precious divine ornaments. Sripada and the divine child entered the cowshed again. Sri Dharmagupta and I witnessed these wonderful spectacle with wonder, excitement and fear. A doubt cropped up in my mind whether it was all magical trick. Sripada, who sensed my feeling, affiliated with me profound thunder voice. Oh Shankar Bhatt, this is not magic or jugglery. This is my nature. This is my divine disposition. Within a moment, I can turn the sky into earth, whatever I will. Brahma creates it in accordance with my will. Then it gets expressed into the creation in multiple ways. The forces of the nature which are visible will be brought to light through the forms and qualities of the creation. What it is said that I am the form of Brahma, it means that I give inspiration to Brahma to create. All the created living beings and the created things are sustained for some time. This is the function of Vishnu. I am that Mahavishnu who urges Vishnu to do so. Saraswati and Mahasaraswati are different. Saraswati is a form of knowledge relating to the creation. Mahasaraswati is Anagha Devi who gives the urge and the strength to Saraswati. Lakshmi is the form responsible for the material efficiencies, bringing the substances of creation. Mahalakshmi is Anagha Devi. Urging and empowering Lakshmi, the force of creation, is the form of Kali. Mahakali is Anagha Devi, stimulating Kali and giving her strength. The trinity of Lakshmi, Parvati and Saraswati, the form of Anagha Devi. Anagha associated with Anagha Lakshmi is my Datta form. Anagha Lakshmi incarnates as a divine form of mother, distinct from the combination of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali. Therefore, note that Anagha Lakshmi is the divine Shakti supporting the three forms of Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali in their integrated state and is superior to all of them. Note, my Anagha form bears Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra in an integrated state. Known that I keep that Anagha form who is the basis of those three, who transit them and is the personification of the three Shaktis. On my left side is my Shakti Rupa. As a result of the Savitrika Kataka Chayanam done in Treta Yuga, my divine glorious form used Ardhanarishvara Tattva as the basis and incarnated in Pitikapuram along with Vishnu Maya as an ascetic in the form of Sripada Srivallabha. Be aware that the shape you see now is in its real state the form of Mahalakshmi and Mahavishnu. Known that Sri Padmavati has in her consciousness Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali. Her form, however, is that of Mahalakshmi. She is Parashakti, who is the Three Shakti and is their support and yet suppresses them. The form of Venkateshwara embodies within him the conscious of enormous form of Brahma, the cosmic form of Mahavishnu and the Pralayakala form of Rudra. He is the form of Parabrahma, who is their support and remains far beyond them. Known that Sri Padmavati and Sri Venkateshwara are in the shape of Mahavishnu Maya as Sripada Srivallabha in the form of Ardhanarishvara Rupa. Then I said, Guru Sarvabhauma, victory, victory to you. You said you are Padmavati Venkateshwara. Again you said you are Anagha Lakshmi, Sri Mate Anagha. For a dull-witted person like me, your nature is not understood, even very slightly. Please have mercy on me and help. Sripada is Sri Venkateshwara. Then Sripada said, my child, my potency are infinite. My divine nature has the tendency to manifest in many ways, even though Mahalakshmi and Padmavati basically belong to the same nature. When she assumes the character of Mahalakshmi and Sri Mahavishnu emerges from me to be her consort. When she takes on the characteristic traits of Padmavati, I would allow the essential nature of Venkateshwara to emerge from me. When the predominant nature takes birth with form and attributes, then the suitable references, worldly obstacles and restrictions have to be followed consequently. The Supreme Power, who is my divine sister, incarnated as Yogamaya on the eve of my incarnation as Krishna and travelled into the sky. Great sages, yogis and Vaishya hermits, through their intense penance, made her to originate as Vasavi Kanyaka. I had to incarnate in Sri Pitikapuram due to some special reasons that witnesses the future program to the full satisfaction of your eyes. You will understand important features of my incarnation and the special sportive play filled with divine delight and myth. My dear child Shankar Bhatt, write about all the sportive plays that are taken place today on the Panchama Veda Pada. Write about them faithfully in the Charithamrutham, exactly as they are and actually as you see them. That will be a source of inspiration to the future generations. It will wipe out many serious doubts. It imparts new strength, devotion and enthusiasm for the believers of God. While both of us were looking stunned at the spectacle, the feature of Sripada Srivallabha turned into a divine radiance, and Sri Padmavati and Sri Venkateshwara emerged from the supreme splendor. The female divine baby form grew bigger and bigger. As we looked with divine glow, it formed into a young Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari of 18 years old. The cowshed disappeared. In that place, a splendid palace appeared with luminous globes spreading divine light all over. As we were looking, a royal couple with the servants appeared. We recognized the royal couple as the Kusuma Shreshti couple. The farmer named Virupaksha, whom we saw the day before, was seen in attire of a prince. He asked me, "Sir, what is meant by Mushti, in Mushti and Varamushti?" I said, "I don't know." The great Lord in the form of Sri Venkateshwara said, "My dear Shankar Bhatt, did you notice the relevance and tradition while one is in the form and qualities? They should be followed thoroughly. You will slowly understand everything." From the form of Sri Vasavi Kanika roaring sound emitted. I was scared and thought some disaster was going to take place. Meanwhile, the nature calmed down, and Sri Vasavi Devi and Sri Nagareshwara emerged from Vasavi form. Later, Vaishya sage followed. Vaishya couples approached their pairs. I understood that it was the great royal palace where Sri Vasavi Kanika lived in Brihatshila Nagaram. Lord Venkateshwara said, "My dear Shankar Bhatt, the Vaishya couples that you were witnessing were the same couples who did Agni Pravesham with Vasavi Kanyaka. These Vaishya rishis belong to 101 Gotras." In the meantime, Kusuma Srishti said, "The great Guru Bhaskaracharya has not come. Lavada Maharishi, who belonged to the 102nd Gotra, also did not turn up. My lord, did not Garudalvar include both of them?" Then Lord Srinivasa said, "Oh, Vaishya Munis, Bhaskaracharya, whom you know was Lavada Marushi in his previous birth, now during my incarnation as Sripada Srivallabha, he is in Pitikapuram as my maternal grandfather Bappanaraya, and the meritorious form of Rajamba are witnessing with their yogic vision from Pitikapuram the Leelas that are happening here." Meanwhile, Anagha Lakshmi, Saubhagyavati Sumati Maharani, Brahma Rishi Apala Raja Sharma, Khanda Lakshmi, Saubhagyavati Venkata Subbamma, Maharishi Venkatappa Sastri alighted from a luxurious divine aeroplane with subtle bodies and came in. They were all welcomed grandly, as it was the birthday of Sri Vasavi Kanyaka, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagya Gayatri Sumati Maharani, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagyavati Kusuma Devi, Akhanda Lakshmi Saubhagyavati Venkata Subbamma, and other sacred women did Mangal Snanam to Sri Vasavi and decorated her with ornaments. The Lord Nagareshwara was glowing with exceptional radiant splendor. He was also made to do Mangal Snanam. Lord Srinivasa said, "Vaishya Munis, 18 Nagara Swamis, Agni Kunda couples, today is an auspicious day. It is the divine propitious time. I have decided that engagement ceremony is to be performed today, Sri Vasavi Devi and Sri Nagareshwara. For that, I want your suggestion, consent, and also want to discuss the customary details as to how it will be performed." When Vasavi Kanyaka was in the form of Parvati, the Asura Ravana came to Kailash. He urged Shiva to give him Atmalinga. Shiva granted it. After that, he asked a wish which was not supposed to be asked. Ambika took the form of Kali. Later on, the Atmalinga also got installed on the earth at Gokarna. However, in the Kali Yuga, a Gandharva who was an Ansh of Ravana asked for Vasavi. As you know, it was the king Vishnuvardhana You also know that Vasavi entered the fire with the couples belonging to 102 Gotras. Sri Bhaskaracharya used to raise Garuva Balakas, Balaka Nagaras. Sri Vasavi Kanyaka was also a Gaura Balika. It is wise to treat Nagareshwara as Balanagara and carry out the marriage, but still there is an hindrance. You also have to solve it. Considering our options, we will decide about Vasavi Kanyaka's engagement. Sri Nagareshwara had no mother or father or Gotra. He is self-manifested, but our Kanyaka is desirous of having him as a husband in mind, word and action. Sri Nagareshwara is also eager to marry Kanyaka. While performing the rituals of offering the bride to the bridegroom, we should thoroughly think about the bridegroom's caste, gotra and other important things as per our tradition. Cousin's marriage is in order. I will abide by your decision. On hearing the words of Srinivasa, the pivot of this world drama, all were astonished. A Gaura Balika should be given only to a Bala Nagara in marriage. They wondered whether they should give her to Shiva, who has no caste, no Gotra. Kanyaka also wanted to marry Sri Nagareshwara. It overcame this difficult situation. They thought they would seek the help of the most learned Sri Ganapati. They understood that Ganapati's blessing and grace was very important for anything to be done. When they prayed, Ganapati manifested. Everyone prostrated to him. Ganapati said, Srinivasa, this Vasavi is indeed my mother Parvati only. So it is not at all wrong to give her in marriage to Nagareshwara. Then Srinivasa said, My dear Ganesha, you are a boy. You should be capable of clearly understanding the Dharma and subtle Dharma. You are the Lord of Ganas. You are the foremost among 30 million gods and also head of Pavitra and Nivritta Ganas. So, without your order, no marriage is accepted as per Dharma. At the time of marriage of Parvati, you were not born. In that case, the marriage of Parvati is not accepted by Dharma. All the Vaishya elders were bewildered. Keeping aside Sri Vasavi marriage, Lord Srinivasa's statement that Parvati's marriage was not acceptable was most shocking and they could not utter a single word. Then Ganapati said, My dear clever uncle, I can discern your foul play. Your wish is that marriage of my mother and father should not take place. During the marriage ceremony, the bridegroom should spend money abundantly by way of giving dakshina and distributing food. You are ridiculing that my father has no money. I differ with your viewpoint. Every human being has a kundali power. I am presenting that Mooladhara Chakra so that the time of marriage of Parvati and Parameshwara, they invited me. Since I was present in the Mooladhara Chakra of Shiva, the marriage took place with my consent only. So, the marriage of Parvati Parameshwara is very acceptable as per Dharma. At that time, my manifestation into the physical world had not yet taken place, but I am present in the Mooladhara of all human beings and God. Labhara was born as my son, and he was Labhara Marushi in Krita Yuga. The Gotra of Labhara is among the 102 Gotras. Dhanagupta and Dhanalakshmi couple, who were the gems of the Ganapa caste, entered the fire, which resulted in the end of profligacy. So clearly I begot Labhara Marushi as my son. Therefore our Gotra became Labhara Gotra. Since my Gotra is Labhara Gotra, my father Parameshwara's Gotra is also Labhara Gotra. This Labhara Gotra is one of the 102 Gotras of Arya Vaishyas. So, even Nagareshwara is an Arya Vaishya. So, you are the brother of Mother Vasavi at present. Labhara Maharishi has come as Bappanaraya. So, you better take the permission of your grandfather and find out if Nagareshwara can be considered as born in Labhara Gotra. Then it can also be considered as a cousin marriage. It is so because Kusuma Srishti was born in Prabhata Gotra. He got relations with the people born in Labhada Gotra. They are related as maternal uncles. Having known that you will create such hindrance, I allowed Dhana Lakshmi and Dhana Gupta couple to enter into the fire and end their Gotras. Sri Nagareshwara can be given this Gotra. I am giving one more boon from today. Since you are the husband of Lakshmi, people worship you for grace of Lakshmi. From now onwards, people who worship Shiva and perform Abhisheka to Shiva will have the grace of Lakshmi as well. The saying Aishwaryam Ishvara Dikshita will spread all parts of the world. If Lord Shiva is worshipped during Shani Pradosha time, they will have happiness of all the worlds. Srinivasa asked Vaishya elders for their suggestions. All of them in one voice supported what Ganapati said. With great pleasure, the engagement between Vasavi born in Prabhatha Gotra and Nagareshwara of Labhada Gotra was performed. In the night, arrangements were made for big feast. It was a festival time with dances and music of all Apsara girls. Mother Vasavi said, the count of 102 Gotras is exactly 102 Gotras only. It is a mistake to assume that there is no Labhada Maharishi Gotra. The main reason for ending the proficiency in the 102 Gotra is that it should belong to the great Lord Nagareshwara. The Gotra in which I was born is to be considered as Prabhata Gotra and Nagareshwara should be considered as Labhada Gotra. All Vaishyas should remember the Labhada Gotra. In the same way, they should worship the Lord Nagareshwara although I am in Kanyaka form. You should recognize that my Lord is present in every atom of mine. Moreover, I am present in every atom of Nagareshwara. If I am worshipped and he is not worshipped, or he is worshipped and I am not worshipped, there will be no result. My Kanyaka form is only for 18 years. Before that, I was Parameshwari, and after this, I will be Parameshwari again. If you think of me as Kanyaka, I will confirm you the experiences of Kanyaka. If you think me as Parameshwari, I will give you the darshan of Saubhagya Mangala Rupini. At one time, the idol in Tirupati was worshipped as Bala Tripura Sundari. Later on, it was worshipped as Ishvara. Still later, it is being worshipped as Mahavishnu form. The Bala Tripura Sundari form in the idol of Tirumala is myself. The one in Ishvara form is Nagareshwara only. The one in the form of Mahavishnu is my brother Lord Datta. The oneness should be understood as related to the consciousness and not the physical world. Lord Srinivasa said, Sister, I am at present in form of Sripada Srivallabha in Pitikapuram. You should be there in my Sanstan as my sister. Ambika said, Brother, this is acceptable for me. Before this, you should come in form of Venkateshwara to the Kanyaka Parameshwari Mahasanstan in Brihatshila Nagaram. Lord Srinivasa, the pivot of the world Dharma, smiled. Sri Vasavi Devi's birthday was thus celebrated grandly. On the next day, the place remained as an ordinary cowshed. Having completed the early morning awards, we started towards Karangodda. Here we come to the end of chapter 28 of Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham. Om Sai Ram.